No city had seen the same amount of informal immigration than that of Cape Town and its suburbs. Over the last 10 years, Kraaifontein went from this to this. Weltevreden went from this to this. And Delft went from this to this. These are just some of the many examples of squatter camps popping up and bursting out of their seams over the last 10 years in Cape Town. In fact, over the past 10 years, the number of squatters in Cape Town went up from 285,000 in 2014 to 1.5 million today. This is putting a massive strain on residents of the city, which, according to the City of Cape Town's 2025 municipal budget, will see a property tax increase of 8%, with electricity and cleaning charges to rise steeply, meaning a middle-class household will see municipal bills rise by 25% this year alone. Cape Townians already pay the most municipal taxes per square meter of property in this country, which is heavily skewed towards homeowners in the suburbs, meaning the burden falls disproportionately on the middle-class households who are already facing economic strain. This is all the while these so-called informal settlements pay close to nothing. Now, more than half of the rate increases will go to the costs of servicing informal settlements who pay nothing. All of this will not fix the problem. More free stuff to Cape Town squatters than they already have will only attract more migrants than are already coming. But what caused this conundrum, and how much worse will it get? The Willem Petzer Group did an in-depth study on the squatter crisis in Cape Town, its root cause and future projections. Be sure to watch the full video for all of the information. Good day, dear friends. Willem Petzer speaking. Be sure to subscribe for more analysis like this in your interest and join our WhatsApp to keep you up to date with all the work being done by the Willem Petzer Group. Just WhatsApp your name and surname to the number on the screen. Even if you're already on the WhatsApp groups, you can support our work by subscribing for a small monthly fee. To do this, just send "Sign me up" to the WhatsApp number still on the screen. Hundreds of man-hours go into these research projects, and therefore we cannot produce them without your subscriptions. The City of Cape Town recently announced its proposed budget for the next year. Rising expenses mean that from the 1st of July 2025, Cape Townians will be subject to significantly higher municipal fees. Property taxes are set to increase by 8%, with fixed electricity charges increasing by no less than 27%. An additional cleaning tariff and electricity tariff will also be introduced, which will be calculated according to each property's value. Because these new tariffs are linked to property value, middle class and higher income groups will be significantly affected. And it is estimated that the overall monthly municipal bill for a middle class household will suddenly jump by nearly 25%. The Mayor of Cape Town, Jordan Hill-Lewis, has responded to criticism about the increases by noting that Cape Town's property rates compared to other South African cities will still be lower in terms of cents paid per rand of property value. But this distorts not only how the increases will impact household budgets, but also the facts as a whole. The fact is that Hill-Lewis's calculations are quite dishonestly so, based on property taxes per valuation of the property. Because Cape Town has the highest cost of property in the country by a long shot, it is not uncommon that a 20 million rand 100 square meter flat on the beachfront in Greenpoint will pay rates of 0.0025 of its evaluation, while a house in the suburbs of Pretoria will pay 0.01%. But when calculating property taxes per square meter, a much more sensible margin, the same flat will pay up to 10 times more than the house in Pretoria. Calculating taxes based on property value is right next to useless, as a 100 square meter flat will have the exact same burden on the municipal services, whether it is worth 20 million rands in Camps Bay or 500,000 rands in Pretoria. Now that we have that obvious con artistry out of the way, let's just look at how the increase in tariffs is going to affect the middle class household budget in a city. A lower middle class family home in a neighborhood like Goodwood or Parow in Cape Town would easily be valued at around 2 million rands, while upper middle class homes in say Rondebosch or Claremont would easily be valued at around 6 million. For lower middle class homeowners in Cape Town, the monthly increases in levies will amount to around 350 rands per month or 4,500 rands per annum, while the average upper middle class family will be paying more than 630 rands per month or 7,500 rands per year more. Lower middle class households will be proportionally hit harder as they face an increase which will cost them about 1.2% more of their total household income compared to higher middle class households, which is estimated to pay around 0.8% of their monthly income on levies. In a tough economy such as South Africa, increases of this kind are very significant. While Cape Town's rates and tariffs are indeed still slightly lower than cities such as Johannesburg and Pretoria, the fact that these levies are calculated proportionally in terms of property value means that upper middle class families in Cape Town will now actually be paying significantly more than those in other South African cities. Adjusted for property values, upper middle class Cape Townians will from the 1st of July be paying almost 20% more than their counterparts in Pretoria. And for examples such as the flats in Greenpoint or Camps Bay that we discussed earlier in this video, it could be significantly more than that. They will be spending more than 10% of their total household income on rates and tariffs, while lower middle class families in Cape Town will be spending almost 17% of their total household income. However, when we delve deeper into why Cape Town's tariff hike for this year far outpaced that of other cities like Pretoria, the picture becomes even more alarming. It is well known that there has been a massive wave of migration to Cape Town from other parts of the country, while around 100,000 people from middle and upper middle families have moved to Cape Town from other parts of the country. More than 1.5 million people in Cape Town now live in informal settlements. This figure is rapidly increasing every year due to migration primarily from the Eastern Cape. Last year, Cape Town's budget to provide social support, including rates and services relief to people living in these settlements, amounted to 4.3 billion rands. Furthermore, the greatest share of the nearly 7 billion the city spends on security and policing annually is spent on managing crime from these areas. The fact that Cape Town is still today considered to be one of the top 20 most dangerous cities in the world and most dangerous in South Africa in terms of homicide rate is directly linked to the large increase of the population in its informal settlements. All of this means that it is safe to say that the money the city of Cape Town spends on servicing informal settlements contributes to over 50% of levy increases. Working class Cape Townians have to foot the bill for accommodating these communities. The hard-working people of Cape Town can rightly be furious about these increases, not only about how it impacts their monthly budget, but because of what the city is using their hard-earned money for. They will be paying more, not simply for the services that they receive from the city, but also for the ever-increasing strain put upon the city's budget by the massive immigration and illegal settlements in their city's limits. Furthermore, the City of Cape Town plans to spend a further 30 billion rands on infrastructure development aimed at accommodating the large influx of these informal settlements over the next 3 years. What this means is that the proposed hike in tariff for the next 12 months is only the beginning. As the population of informal and illegal settlements in Cape Town continues to grow, middle-class Cape Townians can expect an even further increase in their bills next year. So instead of taking the necessary measures to curb the growth of these illegal settlements, Cape Town Mayor Jordan Hill-Lewis and the city's government is now forcing hard-working people to pay more for these illegal settlements and massive illegal immigration into the city. And we know that the net effect of this policy will be even more immigration of people moving to Cape Town, looking for more handouts and free service delivery. The city of Cape Town is making the people of that city fund their own demographic replacements and their own demise, fund the increase in crime, and fund the electricity and water bills of communities who make little to no positive impact or contribution to the city's culture, social fabric, or its economy. By looking at the bigger picture, it becomes evident that the problem is much larger than just next year's bill increase. As we saw with the various refugee crises in North Africa and the Middle East over the past decade, immigrants naturally opt for places where they benefit the most financially. For example, because it is located on the Mediterranean Sea, Italy is much more accessible to illegal immigrants than Germany or Sweden, for example. Yet, since 2015, Italy, one of the poorer European countries, has received less than half the refugee applications Germany did, primarily because Germany is a wealthier country and has a much more generous welfare system. If the city government of Cape Town continues on this path, they will create the exact same dynamic in this part of the world. Increasing numbers of poor, unproductive people from not only other parts of South Africa, but even the rest of the continent will flee to the mother city. Cape Town's proposed budget will prove nothing short of disastrous for the people of the city. They will have to pay more for services, and in doing so, they will be forced to fund a policy that is bound to cost the city hundreds of billions of rands in years to come. And if the government of Cape Town and the Western Cape refuses to change course, they will ultimately be responsible for creating the exact same socio-economic problems in Cape Town that people who moved there have fled from in the first place. One of the main reasons Cape Town has long been such a lucrative destination, not only for South Africans, but even for international immigrants and property investors, is of course that the Western Cape has the cultural character of the city and the quality of the services and infrastructure. This is also one of the strongest arguments used by those in favor of Western Cape secession and independence from South Africa. Yet sadly, the character of the city is being increasingly threatened by the rapid increase of informal settlements, negatively impacting the city's culture, safety, property values, and virtually every other socio-economic indicator. If you made it this far into the video, we thank you. A substantial amount of man hours are going into producing these videos, and we really appreciate those of you who take the time to view all of our content till the end. In light of this, to keep producing and at a later stage increase the quality and frequency of our content, we started a subscription program where for a small monthly contribution you can help us keep going and growing our work, and you'll be part of an exclusive community that does regular webinars on our work where you can give your own input. To sign up for the subscription, just WhatsApp sign me up to the number on the screen. We really need as many people as possible to sign up. Goodbye, and God bless you.